It is February 18th, 2019. This is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast.
And Tim is frazzled.
Oh, sweet. Man, I got the audio going in my ears. Guys, it's just been an absolute recipe for disaster tonight. It's
all my fault, really.
Why?
Because I was the one talking trash during the kit reveal that if Atlanta really wants to see how to do a live broadcast, they should tune in.
Yeah, they should have contracted us to do it instead. Dan James is joining us from his abode within Atlanta, somewhere in Atlanta metro area. You guys should go and find him. Dan, how's it going tonight?
It's great. I'm just hanging out at a bar somewhere.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a weird looking bar that you're at.
That's right. It's one of those types of bars. Have you not been to those? Well, probably not.
Anyways, I am Tim Herb, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Kevin Bradley, in studio right across from me.
Yeah.
While you guys are tuning in on YouTube, could you please do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon. Make sure that you guys are getting alerts whenever we go live. Thank you guys for joining us in the trap. We love all you guys, all the familiar faces out and new ones already.
You said the trap. I think that between all this talk of homies and traps, Greg from For the Culture was supposed to be on tonight, but I think all of that very terrible attempt at street cred, he got gun shy and had to walk away.
That's what it was.
He had to walk away. He couldn't be affiliated with anything so unbelievably terrible.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Audio listeners, if you guys are on iTunes or on Stitcher, leave us a rating and or a review. We will read it aloud on the show no matter what it is. And above all else, it helps us get found by other Atlanta United supporters, other MLS supporters as we start to do the Offside Trap starting next week.
Start Sunday.
Who do we have coming up on Sunday?
Filibuster from DC United.
Yeah.
At least hopefully it's Sunday. We had to change up some stuff because our schedule next week's a little squirrely. So you're out of town a couple of days and just the way things worked out. So trying to get it scheduled for Sunday, but it'll go up sometime next week.
But yeah, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Dan, doing all right? What kind of beer are you sipping on?
I've got a Terrapin Hopsecutioner.
What that is? I don't drink beer, so explain it to me like someone who drinks soda only, diet soda only, because I got the gout.
It's like drinking regular soda. I don't know, Tim. I can't relate. You just drink diet soda?
No. Yeah. What's that, Dan? Yeah.
You just drink diet soda?
I have the gout. Nobody puts anything in there other than high fructose corn syrup, and it's an irritant.
High fructose. But is sugar an irritant?
High fructose corn syrup is, but just so there are only a few sodas that I could drink, but I'd rather just drink the diet version.
Both of you are being irritants to me right now.
Shout out to Andy Watkins and now Bina Watkins.
Man,
that's awesome.
I really want to start talking about that. I want to talk for a few minutes tonight about how fortunate we are, because shout out to Andy and Bina. Absolutely. We said it last week, but we were fortunate enough to go to their marriage this weekend.
That's what we call it.
Their marriage.
We went to their marriage.
Their marriages. Their weddings. Surrounded by people that we met through doing this show.
Yeah, we had one of Bina's cousins behind us asking, so how do you guys know Andy? It's like, at the sake of sounding pompous, we're friends.
Yeah.
Not trying to plug a podcast during a wedding.
We've met a ton, but everybody that shows up in the trap every week, the people that we see at the meet and greets, the tailgates. All of these people are friends and family, really, at a certain point.
All you guys, especially you, Mom.
And to think about the people that were there at that way, us having that experience would not have taken place had we not started all of this stuff. Whether it was the banter stuff and then transitioning into this or whatever it was. But Christian Mills, who was the very first person who we met out at the tailgates that listened to the show. that first year. Andy, Bina, Patrick. I mean, everybody. We've just met and grown this community. The entire community, Atlanta United community, has grown obviously tremendously. It's huge, but I was a little taken aback by it, thinking about it Saturday, and reflecting on how much the past few years have changed my social circle and my week to week. I mean, being able to do this every Monday with you guys is awesome.
Agreed. You guys can't see Dan because he's off camera, but he is furiously taking notes.
He's getting stats for downloads and ratings and strategies for next season for the show and how we can grow and do better.
Brian Diefenbach's also an OG from back in the day. Yeehaw, boys.
Everybody. Brittany S. Brittany S. I think Brittany S. is right up there with Mills, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Brittany S. is better than Mills, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should have brought Brittany S. Has Friends onto the network instead of Mills Has Friends.
Yeah.
Mills needs to get Brittany S. on there.
You got to turn your mic a little bit. Sorry. You're not good. There you go.
Didn't Mills steal the whole concept and idea from Brittany S?
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, so congratulations, Andy. You know what? Every now and then you run across somebody in your life that is so great, it makes you feel like a shitty person. I've been very fortunate to have you be a part of my life for the past 16, 17 years now, where I get to feel that almost every day. But I felt that especially so this past weekend whenever I had one of my first cases of mommy brain getting Theodore ready to go to the wedding. And I had made a specific request on how to handle wedding gifts with Andy and what I needed to do, where I needed to put them at, getting Theodore ready, walked out, completely forgot a wedding gift.
Yeah.
You ever feel it's rare that I feel like a piece of trash because I've just gotten accustomed to it. But then Andy calls me today. He's like, so I just want to say, I'm not accusing you of anything, but remember you asked me about like what to do with a gift and we can't find it. It's like, oh, okay, this is really great.
Well, it makes you feel really good. All right, it's funny. We had a lot of, or not a lot.
Chicken 65?
Just like one person.
A lot of that.
Oh, yeah, we did have a lot of that. Joe Johnstone, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. Just due to the fact that we're doing, just like a side note, I don't know if we'll be able to do we could try. We can give it a shot. I can fiddle around with some cables. Yeah, you guys call in to the line. What is it? 678. You don't have it in front of you right now, do you?
Nope.
Okay.
I tweeted it out. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, that's hard. Dan, do you know our voicemail line number?
Yeah.
Why not? Because it doesn't have a plus 44 in front of it.
No,
or
it's
whatever.
some weird 643
678-827-3297.
Somebody repost that in the trap.
678-327. What's that? What's that, right? What did I just say?
That's what we need. We definitely do that. We definitely do need that 404 get home.
Yeah.
No, but we got some hate on Twitter for this very thing where we're not breaking down stats immediately whenever we start getting into the podcast.
Yeah.
Topic for tonight's call-ins. I think predictions for CCL might be a little too easy of a. You don't want to spend too much time hammering the kit.
No, Kit, I think it's going to be pretty minor. I'm interested to hear Dan's thoughts because he's been gone for a while. Maybe we can get his thoughts about MLS Cup because I don't think we've seen him since before then.
It's true.
Actually, I don't think we've seen him since Oprah Cup.
Whoa.
Stop.
Dude, Oprah Cup?
Oprah
Breaking
Cup,
news.
yeah.
Breaking news. You probably haven't heard this, but Greg Garza got traded to Cincinnati FC.
I don't think I've talked to you since Greg Garza got traded.
That just ruined my night, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah, I know.
I've been following along so little in the offseason, in the silly season, that I missed the Greg Garza trade.
I think this is going to be we got a lot of trash. That was really funny, though. Podcast Wars got inflamed again this past week, thanks to Anna Ball, ATL Pizza on Instagram.
Thanks to
Kelly.
Whatever ATL Train's new name is on
thanks
Twitter.
To Kelly for actually speaking her mind, calling us out for the garbage network that we actually are and saying why her and Jay cut and ran.
Brandon Scott, I haven't seen that name in the trap in a while, and he's bringing even more bad news. We lost Assad. What?
No, he didn't.
Assad.
Bashar al-Assad or Yamil Assad?
Oof.
Because one of those I could do without. No, we won't get into that. So, no, topic for tonight's bold predictions, not hot takes. We don't want to go that far. We're not the home for hot takes. You can find that elsewhere. You can find that on your Mouths of the South podcasts. You can find it on your Soccer's Downs Here's, and then you can find it on Five Stripes Finals.
I have a hot take. I think you're slowly just positioning the camera to where it's just focused on you. Because if I move just slightly,
what happened? No, dude, it is. I think it's tilting. Is that camera too heavy?
I think it's you. I think you.
No, seriously. Anyway,
by the end of it, it's just going to be a close up on you. You're going to have that little icon beside you about what the next topics are that you want to talk about.
I'm going to put a green screen behind me, put a fireplace.
Yeah.
Do a little fireside shots. No, seriously, I think it is drifting because it definitely didn't start this far over.
If I know anything about you, it drifts a little bit.
What does that even mean?
Drifts a little
Tokyo drift.
Just drifts a little to the left.
No, your bold predictions. Call into the voicemail line and leave your bold prediction for the year. Say Julian Gressel is going to get 15 goals, or Brad Kuzan will get, I don't know, 20 clean sheets. There we go, Kevin. Yeah.
Fix it? I think it's good. It's going to lean, right? So it's going to drift its way over there by the end of the episode.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
Kevin Brown. That's the real OG right there, saying he stands by his Twitter threat to choke trains.
He got reported. Did he get his account suspended for
something about catching these hands is what he said. Oh, God. Ooh, the fan and the reflection. Yeah, sorry, David Harris, saying he can't stop watching the fan and reflection. Otherwise, I'm going to sweat my ass off. Dan James. To Kevin's point, we didn't get your thoughts on the kit as of yet, or on the cup, on the new kit as of yet, both replica and the authentic.
I'll try and make it brief because we've talked about this to death, but I really like the new red tint that we have. I think it looks sharp, and it kind of brightens up the kit, makes it look a little bit newer, a bit more different. I like the stripes. I'm not a fan of the stripes at the bottom of the authentic like Kevin, but I'm just going to get over it because I'm probably going to go and buy that one anyway.
But did you see what I'm going to do with it?
Yes, I did see what you're going to do with it. And that is genius.
I got to pull it up.
Have you tweeted that out from the HB4D? I
haven't tweeted it out, but I'll.
What are you going to do? You're going to do your number is 8, and then your name is == D, capital D.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
you know me so well. So I'm just going to embrace the leather biker vest look, and rather than doing a name and letters, or letters and numbers, I'm going to get the Unite graphic or something similar.
Put it on the camera. It'll focus on there.
And then do like an airbrush fade into the stripes.
Spring Break 99.
It's blurry.
It should focus on there. Might have to pull it back. It's so blurry.
Stop talking, Dan. You're ruining it. It's not going to focus on this.
It focuses on the photos whenever we put them up there.
It just focuses on your big screen or stupid head.
Anyway. Yeah, I like it. A little Sons of Anarchy. It's just like on trigger warning. So we're gonna try and do the do the Crip idea, the Cripicola, but with I don't know. It just won't focus.
Again, because it's just focused on you. I think you did all this on purpose. All right,
I did.
All right, so yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Did you try to watch the live stream, Dan?
The live stream
of the kit reveal?
No, I didn't. I mean, it's great. I love that everybody has that sort of enthusiasm for a kit reveal, but I was at work, and I wasn't going to watch a kit reveal. I'm not that worried about it. I'm going to buy it. I'm more interested in the football.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think it lost some of its luster that we all knew what it was going to look like.
Right. I appreciated the attempts by like Julian Gressel to try and poke holes and say, hey, what if the leaks were intentional and it's going to be something completely different? But no, I really dig the gold piping around the sleeves and the collar. that does not show
I think
up
it's a
on the
classy
replica.
look. Yeah.
It is.
It's a real classy look. I can't wait to get FIFA 20 so I can actually play with it on
When
FIFA.
are we gonna go? When are we gonna go full collar like these?
I hate the collars. It's
These
not a
18,
polo.
19 Liverpool kits. Really?
It's not a polo shirt. It's a sports jersey.
But
I
these
don't like the crew necks.
these are not. So this collar is not, a la the Manchester the Eric Cantona Man U kits, right? Where the collar went down to the shoulders.
Yeah, it looks like a cricket shirt. It looks like
where
you're going
you
to play a
need
game
buttons.
of cricket.
You need to button down the
you need
collar
an Oxford bush collar.
So I have a good bit of stuff outlined for tonight, and what I think would be a good way to structure a lot of this episode, and little bits and pieces of news will filter in throughout. I guess the first one, which I actually wrote down last.
I wanted to do this real quick. I wanted to share the screen and share your
Oh, there it is. There you go.
There you guys go.
Oh,
that
there we
fade,
go.
man. It's about the fade.
I do prefer the fade. Absolutely. I mean, I prefer short stripes all the way around, but
what do you guys think?
Stupid MLS are going to have.
What y'all think about that custom airbrush Home Before Dark kit? That's what I'm doing, man. I might do a little variation on the graphic, and but yeah, I've reached out to a couple screen printers in Atlanta. I think that's what I'm going to do. Do a custom kit. If they're out there making custom Waffle House airbrushed waffle Yeezys, I'm going to do a custom Atlanta United kit. Why not? It'd be dope.
It would be fantastic if you can pull that off, Kevin.
It's happening.
The only other thing is you spend $120 for the shirt, and then the screen printers mess it all up.
Screen printing on shirts are pretty.
Wait, could everybody see
standard.
that in the trap? Could you guys see that? I just want to make sure.
Bill, they airbrush shirts at the county fair all the time. I'm positive. That's a good point, Brian. I might have to reach out to Lloyd's and see if they could do it.
I don't think I've never done a soccer jersey before. I usually do them $8 Gildan t-shirts from Walmart. This is $100.
I'm gonna get that fade with a Bugs Bunny on the back. It's gonna be dope.
Get that Tweety bird with the chains on it.
Tweety bird with the chains on it.
Tweet.
Tweet at me, dog. At Home Before Dark.
God, that was my favorite part about visiting the Florence County flea market in college. Was all those Looney Tunes.
Maybe I will just embrace.
Gangster.
I'm gonna just embrace the airbrush aesthetic and just go crazy. Get an airbrush Mercedes Benz on the back with lightning and palm trees.
You're gonna get that. Oh man.
Can you get a couple of wolves airbrushed on there, or maybe a bobcat or something?
Yes, I'm doing it. I think I'm gonna have to now.
Someone needs to make an Atlanta United logo made out of deer antlers or something.
It's gonna be great.
Test it out first with one of the kits that the water vendors out in the International Plaza sell.
That's a great point, Tim. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little test print, and then I'll spend the money on the.
Bro, we'll just do an iron-on.
We could do an iron-on.
Yeah.
But I don't know how those are going to hold up in the wash.
What if we do a CNC router and we cut the material out?
Oh, no, laser cut it.
Ooh, Gianni. I don't know. I don't think he listens to this.
Yep.
Laser cut it so that whenever I wear it and I get sunburned, it's also emblazoned on my back skin, which would be great.
Come on, Kevin. The hair on your back is way thick enough that the sun is not going to get through.
I like this idea. Actually, this is the topic for the call-in. What would you guys get airbrushed on the back of your authentic jersey?
30 minutes in, and we finally decided on a topic. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's it. What would you get airbrushed, Dan? If you got your back of your kid airbrushed, what'd you get? Because there's not enough room for you to get the whole family airbrushed on. You might need to go up a couple sizes.
Well, obviously, I'll get the Queen airbrushed on there. Because I'm a freaking walk-in stereotype.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe I'll splash some cash in this year. And so I'll get you one with the Queen airbrushed on the back. What'd you get, Tim?
To that point, I mean, I'm American through and through.
Reagan?
Yeah. I'm just going to get Reagan on the back. No,
you got that drip. That's part of trickle down, isn't it? Isn't that part of trickle down?
No, I want to get Prince Philip walking away from a fiery car crash, like he's like the Man on Fire cover with Denzel.
No, I want to get one of those, like you've seen the presidents riding dinosaurs and stuff like Abe Lincoln on a bear. Get one of those on the back.
Brian, who you can find. Where is he at? He's in one of these pictures.
One of them here,
right there.
Yeah,
right there. Good old Brian. He's saying he would get Tito's tattoo on the back of his jersey.
Tito's, like a bottle of Tito's?
Yeah, Bert Kreischer shirtless with a bottle of Tito's on the back of it. Just the machine on the top.
Yeah, that's a good topic. I like that.
Yeah. I
think we all need to do that. Just go get some Bobo kits this year and get them airbrushed on the back.
Yeah.
I am definitely down to do that. We'll take them to I'm going to take mine straight to the Georgia State Fair or whatever and get it done there. I'm leaning into it.
If I'm going to be very disappointed if that jersey comes back and that kit. If the kit comes back and it doesn't have powdered sugar on it, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Dan, you'll be happy to know what I'm drinking right now is some Tetley English breakfast.
Tetley tea.
Oh,
Good for you. Good for you,
I got a big 100 pack of it's Tetley. It's English breakfast blend.
Very nice. I'm a PG Tips pyramid bag man myself.
Oh yeah, this is I'm not used to the circular bags. I'm gonna be honest.
Circular bag's a little weird. You want a pyramid bag so it helps the steeping of the tea.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Nani? To get back on topic here.
Ooh, that was a bit of a fiasco on Saturday, right? I mean, we go to an Indian wedding and there's no Nani there at all. People are yelling, screaming at the caterers.
I can't believe I had to wait all the way until dinner to get my nani.
Wait, what? You mean naan bread?
There was nani up until dinner. There was nani to be found.
Nani, what are my thoughts on nani? This is just, I mean, what do they do
or
with
nanny if you're down here?
Nanny. They got nanny on this team.
Well, they need a nanny because y'all know Atlanta United's already they daddy.
Oh! That was good, Kevin.
I can't drop this mic. Kevin, you can't drop this mic. It's on a scissor arm. You can't do it.
Jesus.
Bina's watching. Bina's watching. She said, come on, we had naan at our table. We had naan later on.
Bina's probably just shaking her head in shame.
It was funny, Bina. It was funny to have them hear the rumblings of anyway, the Nani going to Orlando City, another 32-year-old, this time Portuguese, not Brazilian, attacking midfielder who is past his prime. Going to be making probably the most amount of money.
Or in his Orlando prime, as we like to say.
Yeah. He's in his Orlando prime. Interesting. Like Will Johnson, kind of that level.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think four-letter name, so probably a lot like Kaká. Almost like Kaku, but Kaku's way better than both of them. No, Nani's been kind of past his prime for a while. I mean, he was a very threatening presence in the Sir Alex Ferguson days at Man U. He was always someone that if you saw him, if he got a hold of a ball and space, either that or in the free, just like Cristiano Ronaldo, his teammate both at Man U and Portugal, he could score free kicks. He's dangerous. I'm not going to deny that, but he has no one to play service to. He has no one to get service from. It's going to be kind of a one-man team scenario in my eyes.
It's interesting.
Dan, your thoughts, and then I want to go to Brian's point, and I've got a follow-up to that. What are your thoughts, Dan?
I think it depends on what Josue Coleman is going to do. I mean, what are they doing, Orlando? I'll give you a hot take. I think this year they finally beat us.
Ooh, that goes to my follow-up, which is, does Atlanta United, part of my I want to sort of create a vault here of items that we will have as a record for the end of the season, our responses, and then we'll revisit it later on. And one of them, Dan, you read my mind, was, will Atlanta United lose to Orlando City this season?
Yep. Can I tell you how it happens?
Yes.
So we're going to be exhausted from winning the Champions League and all that. So we're going to be playing our backup squad. Andrew Carlton, hungover, trips, and lets Will Johnson. Yeah, Will Johnson through. Will Johnson.
Wait, I thought you said Carlton trips.
Yeah, Will Johnson.
You mean Will Johnson trips? Because
No.
he's got a reputation for doing that, you know.
Oh, that's true. Drunk Andrew Carlton trips Will Johnson. Will Johnson happens to get up first because he's not hungover and charges in and scores against Brendan Moore because we're playing our third string goalkeeper because of all the games we've played. Even the goalkeepers are tired. And then the game ends 1-0.
All right. Tim, what do you think?
Hold on. I have to play the sound effect every time somebody makes it.
Put. Is it that one?
It's the vault.
Oh,
it's a vault
okay.
getting locked.
Okay, well,
no,
we
it's way
haven't
too
locked
long.
it yet. It's way too long.
You
need that little. You need the Akon music. That convict.
I will find that next time.
That's what we need.
Next time Dan's talking, I will find that. No, God, no, they're not going to beat us. They may draw us. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
We only play them twice this year, right? Like, I think gone are the days that we play the same team 3 times. Thank God we don't have to play DC 3 times. OMG.
Yeah. But still, I don't know. Dan, I do like the stretch Armstrong that you're going with on that.
It's a huge stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch. It'll probably get some traction there for a stupid take. But, when they beat us, then I don't know. It's a huge stretch. I don't think they will.
No, I think we take 6 points from them this year. I don't think it's even a question. That team is shambolic. I mean, the fact that they're bringing in Nani to try it, I don't know what they're trying to do. If they're trying to sell tickets, he's 32. Sure, he's got some life left in him. He's probably going to score some goals in MLS. He's probably going to assist a couple. Granted, who does he have to score goals, Dan? I mean, aside from maybe Dom Dwyer, right? I mean, but aside from that.
Yeah, I mean, Dom Dwyer, he's always a threat, so he could potentially get some service. But the thing is, it's pretty easy, I feel like, to take Dom Dwyer out of a game. They've still got Klesjan. Chris Mueller is still up there. Dom Dwyer's injured, apparently, according to Transfer Market. Higuita is still there. Oh, Yoshi Utun was the guy who got traded out. But Higuita's a decent player. They got Dylan Powers. And João Moutinho from LAFC. Yeesh.
Yeah, but then they also lost Amro Tarek, right, in the offseason.
Yes, they did.
So they lost arguably their best defender because Lamine Sane he really didn't pan out as a defender, a good center back for them.
So you're saying no?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying no.
All right. So up to Brian's point, and Bill Holcomb's a little bit about Rooney being washed up as well. And we saw what a difference he made for DC United last year. Out of the names that Brian listed, Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Zlatan, and Rooney. And now
you forgot Robbie Keane as well.
Where do you think Nani fits into that grouping with where the league stands and what Orlando really needs?
I think he probably fares a little better than Lampard. Granted, I think Lampard played on loan in New York City for maybe a year.
Gerrard didn't do anything either.
Yeah, I just won a title with LA Galaxy. That's it.
Did he win the title?
He was a starting.
Didn't everybody win a title with Galaxy?
Trust me. Trust me. I'm wearing this jersey, and Steven Gerrard's my favorite player of all time. He was probably 5-6 years past his prime whenever he came to MLS, and
the league was so different back then, though.
Not really, though. I mean, we're not that far removed from it, with the exception of Atlanta United, LAFC, and maybe a handful of other teams. I mean, it's really still that MLS in my eyes. And then you're seeing maybe a little devolution of that. I mean, you're looking at or devolution back to that. If you look at Toronto, and they're kind of. I mean, I think Javinko is going to be the first domino to really fall with that team, and then the rest of it's going to kind of keep going with them. I don't see a great future for that team right now. But
wait, did you just switch over to Toronto?
Sorry, I'm just talking about the league not being honestly that different than it was whenever Steven Gerrard was at LA Galaxy. I don't think the league has evolved that much. It's not leaps and bounds different than it was, say, 5-6 years ago.
Okay. I think we do. law of averages, I think Atlanta at least drops 1 L to Orlando, and it probably will be one of those weeks.
You think it's this year? So you're a yes for Orlando beating us this year?
One game, yeah.
Are you just trying to make nice before we do that behind enemy lines offside trap with the Orlando?
I'm gonna say
podcast?
that about every team this year. No.
I don't think Atlanta wins a game this year. I think
I think we lose every week. Every week we have the guest on.
I think you talk to Orlando supporters, like the decent supporters, and they're pretty objective. I mean, they understand that.
We're not going to roar on here.
Why?
The team
is. Those guys hate us.
Good.
It's funny. Like we were maybe like 6 weeks into recording this series, and they were on the other side. Found us and started talking shit about us.
Well, it's not hard to find us whenever you're trending in the top 5, and you're not whenever whenever they're an Orlando City podcast.
The other thing is, remember, Joe Bendick is gone. So not that he had the greatest season last season, but I think it's because the team was just
that
so
many
bad.
shots going in at you. I mean, it's going to be kind of imbalanced from the statistical perspective.
So they brought in a guy from Louisville, Greg Ranjinsing. He's their starter.
They're holding out hope that Louisville Cup ends up winning them something in the MLS.
So you're saying he got designated to AAA?
I thought you were going to say designated player money. No.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Who are their DPs?
They're signing up USL players as DPs.
Who haven't we beat yet? We haven't beat Sounders. To Brittany's point, she said we still haven't beat Sounders. I want Atlanta to beat the Sounders. We haven't beat Sounders. We haven't beat Portland in the regular season. We haven't beat
SKC.
We haven't beat Toronto.
Toronto.
But Javinko's not here to haunt us.
It's true.
He's over making that Saudi money or Qatari money.
We've not beat Cincinnati.
We haven't beat Cincinnati until the first time we play them.
Yeah. Wait, hey, I'm just telling facts, Tim. I'm just
March 10th. That record changes.
All right. So Tim's a no. Dan's a yes. I'm gonna say a yes.
Guys, weird. Tim is being the sensible one.
I don't think
we haven't beaten Red Bulls. Hey, we haven't beaten Red Bulls.
We end up winning the series, but I think we drop a game to them.
Guys, right now, aside from Nani on that team and Dom Dwyer, we can play our second team.
They lost Yoshi too, didn't they?
Yes, they lost. No.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay. They did. So they lost Yoshi. They lost Bendick.
They lost Emre Tarek. So they lost arguably in succession. That's obviously their best goalkeeper, best defender, best midfielder.
Yeah.
They gave Will Johnson what happened? Will Johnson somehow due to playtime. Who was telling us that?
But those are the kind of games that you end up losing, is the ones that you're like, oh yeah, we're definitely.
And to Brian's point, they lost El Munir. That whole defense is completely different now. Someone was telling us recently that due to the amount of playing that he did last year, Will Johnson actually unlocked an extension in his contract. So they're with him again for at least another year.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think that was actually confirmed. It was some pretty decent research and some stringing together of points that someone on Twitter made. And because he was on contract to apparently play 25 games, and he played 26, which triggered his option to be picked up automatically or something like that. So they've got him for another year. But I mean,
I'm saying yes.
The guy's passionate.
You guys realize we can
beating women.
Yes, that's one thing.
Oh,
you guys realize that?
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
you would.
We can sit.
Supposed to mean.
We could sit 5 of our 11, and then put in whoever the other 5 would be in the 18 we could sit 7. We could switch out 7 players from the 18 with our starters, and we would still beat them.
Okay.
We'd still be better player for player than they are.
All right. Well, let's talk about how great we think Atlanta may be this season. Last year, Atlanta United ended up with 69 points at the end of the season, securing second place in the league, just behind New York Red Bulls, tying the previous record held by Toronto, and obviously Red Bulls broke it with 71 points, if I'm not mistaken. Where do you see Atlanta falling at the end of this season as far as points?
Dan?
I feel like I'm going to have to go top 3. So 2 or 3. And I feel like I'm really hedging my bets here.
So that's position, but I want to talk about points. We scored 69. We ended with 69 points last season, tying the previous record held by Toronto. Obviously, Red Bulls with the 71. Where do you think we end up with points at this year?
Points. I feel like we could beat 69.
You can never be 69.
God, you beat me to it.
I really just had that question lined up just so that we could say that number over and over again.
Dan, I don't know if you. I just saw this news to BJ Felder and the Traps point. Feel better for the season as a whole now that Nagbe stays to keep that depth.
Do you think he stays for the whole season or just through the first transfer window? Though?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like he stays.
Do you think so? Another question to that point then would be: do you think
so? Rob Usry from Dirty South Soccer says,
I was about to say he's surely not in here.
Yeah, hearing from a reliable source that Darlington Nagbe will stay with Atlanta United this season. Unclear if the internal situation was settled or not, but that's the latest word. Maybe DeBoer will shed some light on it.
What
tomorrow.
Do we think is going to happen to the dynamics of him within the lineup as a result of everything that happened?
Dude, I just threw this lineup out, right? Martinez up top, Barco, Pitti, Tito behind him, Rometty and Jeff in the middle, Bello, LGP, Parky, and Escobar. I totally forgot about Nagbe.
And Gressel.
Oh my gosh, and Gressel. So I feel like that just goes to show the depth that we have. I want Nagbe to stay. I think as he's a domestic player, that he brings incredible value that we don't have, that is difficult to get, especially in this capped system that we play. I feel like he is very valuable because at the price we can get him at. I don't know if Columbus can, because the whole thing was right now, I think he's coming towards the end of his contract, and this was a good time. It made sense for him to push for an extended contract because it potentially could be his last one. So it made sense to sort of play out the rest of his season with Porter and get a better contract. And I don't think Atlanta United is going to pay him the money that he would want his last contract to be. Maybe Columbus do it, but after this season... So, well, basically, let me back up. Before, if they want to trade, they're going to have to pay a heavy premium to get him. And how does he fit into that team with all the players that they have? And therefore, like if he stays with Atlanta United and wins another championship, and quite frankly needs to get on at least the assist sheet, rather or a goal, that would be great. He's not going to get the value that we all see in him. So I hope that he stays. Incredible value. It doesn't take an international spot. Yeah. I want him here.
Yeah, so do I. I think that we have, to Bill's point, we have too many players. And to your point, Dan, about forgetting people
I think we
in the
need
lineup.
too many players this
No,
season.
agreed. We're playing on how many fronts this year? We have the potential for 5, 6 trophies. Granted, 2 of those, I think, are single game trophies. But just the impact that Darlington Nagbe had last year, and especially towards the end of the season whenever he came back from his injury, and just how critical he was in locking down that midfield, controlling, distributing, everything that he did for this team. I find it hard to leave him out of the lineup unless there's some sort of irreparable damage that's been done with the relationship. But it sounds like from all intents and purposes, the internal qualms were with the front office and not with Frank DeBoer. I don't think you're going to see anything like that. And Eric Rometty playing alongside Darlington Nagbe was kind of a revelation towards the end of the year. The relationship that they had and their ability to play and link up, and not just link up, but to be able to cover for each other and just unlock the attack to do what they did. I think is something that is nothing to sneeze at. I think that he stays in this lineup, even if it's at the expense of Jeff Lorenowitz. who also has been indispensable for the team. It's hard. I mean, there's a lot of hard decisions that Frank DeBoer is going to have to make going into the season and throughout the season. Granted, we're going to be dealing with injuries at some point, and this depth is going to come in quite handy throughout the season.
So
what
was great about having Nagbe in the center mid with Remedi is because Nagbe could focus more on the attack while Remedi can defend the defense behind him. So I think he adds that extra piece to help supply Pity with balls.
Yeah, I mean, Nagbe can cover so much ground. While you saw it at least whenever there were dangerous playmakers on the other team in the playoffs, we essentially deployed Eric Remedi as a marking back, which I hadn't seen somebody do that really since high school, where you're really he snuffed out Kaku, he snuffed out trying to think of who else he really was it Higuain maybe in the Columbus game, and he just made Diego Valeri and Sebastian Blanco kind of non-factors too. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I have a feeling this season is going to be a lot better for Nagbe because it was kind of ridiculous that he didn't even get an assist last year. And I think part of that is because Martino was so rigid and unwavering with the lineup and the roles of the players he gave. And I think that's a whole nother discussion, but with the ball, because he's going to have to rotate and he's going to have to change up his tactics and he's going to have to potentially play guys out of position, play them in different roles, that he's not going to have to be so rigid as Martino was, because we've got to play a whole bunch of different games and we've got to really understand, we've got to utilize our squad as much as we can.
Yeah, I don't think from Frank DeBoer's standpoint, you're going to see him, at least historically speaking, you're not going to see him get so hard-headed about his lineup. I mean, he's notorious for being able to bring in young players and bring them up through the ranks, and that doesn't come with not playing and experimenting with lineups. To your point, I'll stick with a push. I think 69 points is what I'm going with, for no other reason than. Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to say 62. I think we stay in that 60 range, that upper 50, somewhere 60s. And I think, we're in that first to third in the rankings. I don't think that this team falls any lower than third. I think first would be really ambitious, and it's certainly possible. I think that this season will have a lot of wear and tear, especially with the travel and the demands of the players, the condensed season. We have a lot of weeks where we're playing 2 and 3 times in a short amount of time. So I'm gonna hold it 62. Dan, points for the season.
Well, I said 67 earlier, so I'll probably stick with that.
67. Okay.
No, and I didn't specify, but I think we win the Supporter Shield.
So Tim's on. That's my follow up, which is playoff standings for the season. So you think we
I think we take the Supporter Shield this year.
Dan?
On Supporter Shield only?
No, just on playoff standings at the end of the year, or just standings in the league.
I think Dan just said top 3, so you got to pick one of those.
Yeah, you got to
1,
pick
2,
one.
or 3, Dan.
2.
I agree with you, Dan. I'm thinking second as well.
Who takes the crown though?
Columbus.
What?
I'm just throwing one out there. Don't judge me.
That's.
I could see.
I'm just kidding. I think it's DC.
No, I was just gonna say DC.
I think DC takes it this year.
Without Yamil Assad?
Without Yamil Assad, I think
They've
still
got
with a potentially disgruntled Luciano Acosta.
I don't think that. I think that it serves as motivation for him rather than a disgruntled defeatist attitude. I think that team has so much momentum coming off of last season. I think Atlanta finishes second behind DC, and it's even going to be a tight race for second. I think it's.
Am I crazy? Did they lose Chris Durkin?
No.
Okay.
You are crazy, Tim.
Okay. Okay. I thought so. I was for some reason there's a young U.S. men's national team like talent type player that left in the transfer window, and I can't remember who it is.
So who do you think takes second, Tim? So I think Dan and I are both in agreement that we think DC takes it, and we said that at the end of the season as well. That prediction still holds for me.
I think DC. I mean, So you've got Wayne Rooney, you've got Luciano Costa, who I don't think is going to be disgruntled. You've still got Paul Ariola. You've got Lucas Rodriguez. You've still got Zoltan Stieber. I think DC are going to be a real decent team.
They have Chris McCann now too.
Exactly.
Oh, they do. That's a really good pickup. Depending on the number what the number was they brought him in, that's a very good pickup for them.
Yeah,
because they
have a pretty good squad. They don't have to deal with the crazy scheduling again this year.
Right.
Do
you think that they at least come in second? Do you think that they're a contender for second?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So who do you think we could potentially beat them out for second?
New York Red Bulls, just because of the structure of their organization.
All thinking the same top 3 teams. I think it's Atlanta, DC, Red Bulls, and then I think Columbus is in there shortly thereafter.
I think NYCFC lost too much.
NYFC is definitely not going to be.
Yeah, and losing David Villa, I think, is too. It's a big blow for that team. Yeah. I think both Morley and then Morley is probably not the right word. But from morale, morale, not morality. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. From a morale standpoint, and then also just from a straight skill standpoint, he was still firing at his old age, and I don't know. I mean, Zach Steffen is still on Columbus's squad.
Really? How's that possible?
In the score? I don't know.
That's
the score app,
possible.
yeah. I don't think that's. They need to update their stuff.
All right, so moving on to other games and teams in the season, it brings me to my next 2 points, which is, no pun intended, most points that Atlanta will score in a game and most points that Atlanta will concede in a game. I believe last year the most points conceded were against Toronto at the end of the season, right?
And by points, you mean goals.
Didn't we end 5-1? Is that right? Or was it 4-1?
What are you talking about?
The Toronto game. What was the final score there?
It's 4-1.
4-1. So I think 4 is still, and we lost 4-0 to Houston to open up, right?
Right.
Correct.
So most points conceded by Atlanta last season was 4. What do you think the most points conceded this year will be? I don't know what the most scored were last year. I know the year before, obviously, we beat New England 7.
I feel
like there were a couple 6-goal games.
No, LAFC, we beat them 5-0. I think we scored 6 in a game.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were just talking about around the league in general.
No, I just mean for us.
Right,
yes.
Yeah.
So
five goals against
most points
LAFC.
Atlanta scores in a game, most points conceded in a game. What do you think?
I like Bills. The score 6 versus Cincinnati.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
So you thinking
I think 6 goals.
Think 6 against Cincy?
Yeah.
Double down on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lock it in.
Convict. What are you thinking, Dan?
Rock, lock, cock it, and pull it.
What are you thinking?
I think. Do I have to give a team as well? I know you.
No, just most points.
I think the most
bonus points if you can lock team too.
I think we'll score 5 against.
I'm gonna say because I'm sick of
Toronto.
following up with you. I'm saying 5 as well. My team is against Chicago.
Okay.
Did you get Toronto for me?
Is that what you said, Toronto?
Yep.
Okay.
Toronto. And then conceded. I think we get into a 4-3 battle with somebody, some sort of shootout. I have a feeling the way that we're going to be attacking this year, we may be a little more open. No,
I have a feeling like
4-3. I think 3 is the most.
3 is the most we give up.
Yeah. While we might be more porous, and I think we'll give up more goals this season than we did in the whole of last year, but I don't think it's going to be.
Who do you think too?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, they've scored 3 on us multiple times in the past, so they were shittier players.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Dan?
I think we'll probably slip up and lose to someone like 4-0. And I have a feeling it's going to be like, oh my gosh, DC or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
I think Houston Dynamo could potentially do it to us again as well.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty front loaded. They kept Ellis this year, right?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
So who else do they have up top?
Menottes, is he still there, Dan?
Yeah, Menottes. He's still there. They've still got Kyoto. Who else do they have? I'm sure DeMarcus Beasley's still there.
I'll pull up the schedule real quick.
I'm thinking Atlanta. Damn it, Dan. I need to start answering before you. I think 3 is too low, considering Atlanta dropped 4 twice last season.
We play Houston. Just not that it really matters. We play them July 17th in the dead of the summer, in the dead of this, in the middle of the season when they're usually on their downturn.
But it's here, right?
It is here, but I'm just saying, like, Houston fades so much in the middle of the season.
I'm going to say 5. I'm dropping 5, and I'm going to say
we're going to lose by 5. We're going to give up 5.
We're going to give up 5. I'm just going to say we're going to have one crazy game. No stipulations, right? I didn't say that this was any. This could be an Open Cup game for all we know. I don't know. I didn't say it had to be.
Oh, I'm not saying an Open Cup game. If we're throwing that in there, then I don't know. I think De Boer is going to take it a little bit more seriously. I mean, Tata.
Look, man, I'm just sick of saying "me too" over here. Well, sorry, that's not.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yes, please move on.
I'm sorry,
Kevin.
I didn't mean.
Yeah, Kevin, no.
What's the next? What's the next point for the vault?
Let's see. Okay, so Martinez obviously sets the goal scoring record last year. What was his goal scored at the end of the season? Was it 31?
Yes.
Finished with 31, and then I think he ended up with like 34 or 35 by the cup. How many goals does Martinez score this season?
I'm going to go with 28.
I am going to say 25. Dan?
I'm going to say 20.
20.
I'm going to say less than 20.
No, you got to say a number. That's the whole point of this.
19.
19.
God, I can't wait to just rub all this in your guys' faces.
All right, so no goal scorer is complete without somebody assisting them. Who has the most assists for Atlanta United this year?
P.D. Martinez. I'm going to say 14 assists.
I'm going to say Julian Gressel with
30. Did you just say 35 assists, Kevin?
Jeez, from Gressel?
Say when. Say when. Say no. All right, I'll start over.
13 from Gressel this year.
You ready? You ready for this? Barco. 15.
Okay. How many?
15.
All right, I like it. That's a really good call, Dan.
Thanks,
I like that.
Thanks.
So
I thought Gressel with 35 was so bold from you, Kevin. Show such courage.
Yeah. Dan, he just said 64 assists.
That's what she said.
Julian Gressel, 64 assists. I can't believe Kevin. Lock it in, Kevin. I
can't believe it. Kevin, jeez, man. Every time I think I've got you pegged, you just
94 assists. This is just ridiculous,
Every
Kevin.
time you guys think you've got me figured out, give me another 20 minutes and I'll have another bad opinion for you.
That's what we bank ourselves on. We do have reviews to read, by the way.
1. PT Martinez, goals scored this season.
11.
12.
45.
I don't think Dan knows how to play prices right.
I'm going to say 10.
You're going to say $1.
I'm saying 10. I'm taking the under on that one. Barco goals scored this season.
9.
10.
What is that how they play prices right over in England?
I'm saying 8. I'm taking the under on both of those.
Yeah.
Power bottom.
See, you know how to play prices right.
Yeah. Last one leads into your topic. We're not really closing up shop quite yet, but I did have it on the list here. Right now we're sitting at 154 iTunes reviews and ratings. We set a goal of 200 for this season for ourselves internally. How many iTunes reviews and ratings does Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast end up with at the end of the season, knowing that we're at 154 right now?
At this rate, 153.
All 1 stars.
172.
Dan.
160.
Oh.
Really having no faith in the listeners.
168. 168.
168.
That's like one every 2 weeks. I think that's about what our average is right now.
Yeah.
Y'all falling off. Y'all falling off.
CCL on Thursday. We have a couple people we know are going down there, right?
One review.
Damn it, Tony. You're gonna come and just like delete our reviews from the server like somebody at iTunes tried to do recently. CCL on Thursday. Kevin Brown, our away correspondent,
of course,
who we talk about.
Kevin's going.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Good job, Kevin Brown.
Just so happens the airline that he works for they have flights down to San Jose. And he's going to be there, and I'm quite jealous of that situation.
That's so stupid.
It beats the pants off of me going to Detroit next week for travel. CCL though, I don't know anything about Herediano, but I do want to bring up in the trap. Let me see, where's it at? Somebody had Brian was asking what our CCL lineup is. Dan, I'm guessing you have at least in your Tata brain, you have at least 16 different lineups that you've sketched out while we've been chatting.
I mean,
but Brian, here's Brian's. Let's start it there and see if you guys have any changes to what he wants to throw out there. So in goal, obviously Guzan, Breck Shea at left back, LGP and Miles Robinson and Parkey center backs, and then Gressel on the right, and then you have Remedi, Lorenowitz in the mid, PD, Barco, and Joseph up top.
So he's going to 4-3-3.
In a more like a 5-2-3.
So haven't we been playing in a 3-4-3 in preseason?
I guess that's still. It depends on how you really classify your wingbacks at that point. If you're classifying them as midfielders or if you're classifying them as defenders. I mean, in a way, what Brian threw out there is in some ways a 3-4-3, because if you look at Breck Shea and you look at Gressel, they're going to be advanced to the point of being considered midfielders anyway. So,
yeah, I could see that. I think we're not going to be as flat. I'm sorry. We're not going to potentially be as wide as that. I think that PT is going to be more of a supplier right behind Joseph. And I think potentially Barco or Pereira or Tito or Gressel will be the ones. Well, I'd say Barco or Pereira, and then Martinez and Tito would be the ones that are really going to be pushing forward, with PT right behind Martinez. And I think, but if Gressel's on the field, I feel like he pulls back a little further than Tito. So what I sketched out was Bello, LGP, Parkey, and Escobar, but then you're pushing the backs forward like you do in a 4-2-3-1. Remedi and Nagbe. So Remedi's going to shield the defense. Nagbe can push up. And then you've got Barco, PT, Tito, and then Martinez pushing up top. So it's kind of a weird, but I guess it all depends on, because there's so many permutations that you can do with the 3-4-3 that it still could. I'm not sure how Martinez works as predominantly within a three-man front line. I think he is more of a focal point for the wingers playing him in, and PT behind him.
Okay. I think the biggest question mark to me is Franco Escobar. Is he injured right now?
Yes.
Apparently.
I'm pretty sure Garza has a hit on, or not Garza.
Guzan.
Guzan has a hit on him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
How long do you think long do you think Guzan's got left with us?
He's only like 33, 34, right?
Yeah.
He's got at least another 5-6 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he's going to be commanding or asking for more money at this point.
Tim Howard's done.
Tim Howard's 41.
How great do you feel as a Colorado fan when you find out that Brad Guzan at the beginning of the season said he's going to retire after the season?
You mean Tim Howard?
Tim Howard.
Yeah, sorry, Tim Howard.
Don't put that evil on us, Dan.
Exactly.
I'd be like, just get the hell out. I'd be so irritated.
No, sorry. Tim Howard's only 39. He hasn't broken that 40-year-old mark yet. And he's going to go play with Memphis, I think, next year, the team that he owns. I don't know. Now I don't know if I really have any question marks about the lineup that Brian posted. I mean, I like Bill's point about Tito.
All lineups are situational based on what the game is and what the stakes are.
Yeah, I don't think Shea starts.
You don't think so?
I don't think. You think he starts over Bello?
I think he does. I think the experience gives him the edge over Bello at this point. I think it's like an ease in situation. I think DeBoer. I think as training. First of all, can we talk about George Bello trying to take that thick title away from Eric Remedi? Bello showed up probably like 20 pounds like beefier than he was last year.
Yeah.
Not that it was hard to do that because he was a tiny little kid, but I saw pictures. I was like, who is that?
Yeah, he wearing layers? Nope.
Is he down training with the American top team down in Coconut Creek? He's getting ripped.
Yeah.
He's a big old boy, but I think
your experience, I agree. I think Brek Shea starts, and with this season being structured the way it is between CONCACAF, Open Cup, regular season, playoffs, I think we're going to see a lot of Bello, but we don't need to force it.
So Victor Meme saying DeBoer loves to play youth, though. I think that is absolutely the truth, and I think that's going to continue to be the case. But I just think for right now, he's going to ease George Bello into that spot maybe 3-4 games into the season. I don't think it's even that long.
I don't even know if it's – I think it may be longer than 3 or 4 games.
Regardless, I don't think it's that long into the season, and I think that he's going to end up latching on to that spot, and he's going to make it his own.
Everybody in this lineup is going to get starts. I think we're going to see a lot of what we saw last year where the lineup is going to rotate based on situational needs. I mean, the Gressel-Tito – debate will continue because both of them will start dependent on we don't play in a vacuum. We have more games than we have weeks, it feels like, and injuries happen, circumstances happen outside of your control that the lineup's going to change and adapt based on that.
Yeah. So your thought, I mean, Tito's the only one I could think of in that lineup that Brian posted that's maybe a question mark to me, but I don't know where he goes because the play that the way that PD, Barco, and Joseph are linking up in preseason, I don't think you touch that.
No, I think my opinion of Tito, and it sucks that he gets roped into this discussion at all because I think he's a phenomenal player and on a lot of teams that without as much depth as Atlanta has, I think he starts week in and week out, but seeing Tito as a super sub on this Atlanta United team is the definition of the word. I mean, seeing him come in late in the game versus starting is a completely different dynamic that he brings to the lineup versus when he's actually starting, in my opinion. What's up?
Nothing. I was going to try and find the adapter if you want to keep going.
Oh, I can just hold it up to the mic. It's fine.
Okay.
That's what I do whenever Dan calls in.
That works.
I forget we got to do that. So I got a couple voicemails coming in. You can get yours in still in the winding minutes. 678-827-3297. Again, it's 678-827-3297. Get those voicemails in. Let us hear your thoughts on your airbrushed kits, your lineups, how many goals PT Martinez is going to score, and everything else in between. Let me get the volume turned up here. Whoa. Wait. What you doing, Kevin? There we go. All right.
I've been asking myself that for better part of 2 decades.
Okay. That's Oh, wait. Do I got to do something different here? Oh.
Maybe unmute your phone or something.
Frequent caller, long-time listener.
Whoa. This is really...
I'm just calling in to see what the schedule
What the...
this year for the...
Okay.
Come on, Kevin.
Hey, this is Andy, frequent caller, long-time listener. I'm just calling in to see what the schedule is going to look like this year for the Home Before Dark meet and greets and the neat meet and greets, and whether or not we think that the man Dan himself is going to show up to more than just like one of these this year. Thanks. I'll hang up and listen.
I still love that. I'll hang up and
I
listen.
showed up to 2 meet
do
and
too.
greets this year.
What'd you say?
I showed up to 2 meet and greets last year.
You did conveniently during playoffs. Fair weather ass fan.
Well, that's true.
You're a fair weather podcaster. You only want to be around whenever people showing up to call in to take your spot.
If I was fair weather, I'd have joined unrelegated.
Pew.
I'm just kidding. I'm not big
done.
enough to get onto their podcast.
Shots fired. Dan's trying to neg them like in that was it the pickup artist show? Should just diss them until they
next. You talking about next? What do we think about meet and greets?
Meet and greet schedule. Don't know yet, Andy. You will be one of the first to know. It is a everything's a little in flux in terms of schedule this year. We have a lot that we want to do. We just have to figure out when we're going to deal with those things.
And we've taken the approach this year. You've got something going on with your camera.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's battery exhausted.
So one of the things that we talked about this year going into this season was not trying to overstretch ourselves and getting too stretched out with what we wanted to do. So I know that's not normally a problem for Tim, but he's pretty limber and is normally keen to stretch if need be. But we realized that we were doing a lot last year. We got a lot more we want to do this year, and we want to plan accordingly. So first step for us is getting the MLS crossover stuff, offside trap started up, which will start next week with Filibuster. And then we can start to hone in some of those dates and some of the other tournaments and stuff that we want to do this season. So we'll be sure to tweet that out with plenty enough leeway so that everyone can make sure to be in attendance. So
sorry about that, guys. Yeah, we're starting to use a fancier camera, and I don't have a constant power source for it. So we've been recording for a little over an hour. So the battery died. I had another one, though. We're good. We're back on there.
That Filibuster's a decent podcast. They're good guys. They like to drink.
Well, why do you think we asked them to come on?
Tim thought that they had decent content.
Whoa.
No, wait.
I personally vetted everybody on that list, Dan.
Is this not a political podcast that we're doing?
No, I've been filibustering every week.
Yeah, I know you did. You've been filibustering
every one of my favorite
podcast.
Historical figures.
All right, so we're going to keep this call-in tradition going. And Kevin mentioned that the topic tonight was airbrush. I think the only thing that's going to make his airbrush design for his jersey better is by putting a giant gold star outline around the outside. On top of that, per usual, 112 points or bust. Peace.
112 points.
I like it.
That
It's
is the
bold.
sort of fiery hot takes that this podcast gives and takes.
All right, let's see here. We got another one. Andy needs a follow-up. If you want to get yours in, got a couple more minutes here. 678-827-3297. Hold on, let me make sure I got this. See, I got to do this extra little step here to make sure it does the speaker, and I have to do some extra stuff here. So let's see. Okay, got it.
Sorry for the second call here tonight, guys, but as I listen to the show, I've got to ask this question. We're going through everything. Best, who has the most assists, most points? I want to know what Atlanta United player has the most number of trucking and blowing up former disgraced U.S. men's national team players this year. Thanks. I'll hang up and listen again.
I'll hang up and listen again. So I'm assuming that's like who's going to foul Michael Bradley the most, basically.
Oh,
Who has the? I want to know what Atlanta United player has the most number of trucking and blowing up former disgraced U.S. men's national team players this year.
All right, so this is a fiery hot take stretch again. Due to heavy rotation of the Atlanta United squad, when we play Toronto, we're going to have the one, the only Kunga squad starting that game, and is going to blow up the slow, withered Michael Bradley, who's playing in a center back role.
I have a hotter take than that. I think Brandon Vasquez he just leans into his reputation of coming in and getting red cards.
Oh my God.
Is that
comes
after
in for another 30 seconds just to be sent right back off after a slide in the back against Michael Bradley's dome?
Is that after Alec Kahn takes the top spot away from Brad Guzan?
You got it, champ.
I can't believe Dan would disgrace our boy Lagos Kunga like that.
Me too.
Or actually, no, I'd kind of be proud of him if he went 2-footed, left the ground on Michael Bradley.
I'm saying he drops him and scores a goal.
Oh, okay. I like LGP. Go studs up on Michael Bradley.
How many red cards does Atlanta United get this year? It's a better question.
2.
3.
Are we counting the one that Jeff's already got?
No.
In a preseason game?
That's a closed door friendly that he got a red card in. Wow, Jeff.
Oh boy, aggressive. How many did you say?
2.
2. What do you think, Dan? 3.
You said 3. Yeah.
Reds. Tim 2.
I think it will be 3. Joseph Martinez, LGP, and Eric Remedi.
Straight reds or?
I think Remedi gets a straight red. LGP gets accumulation. Martinez gets a straight red.
Martinez with a straight red.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
he headbutted dude, and they didn't call it, so he can really do whatever he wants. I saw it.
It's going to be in the same game that Orlando.
Atlanta keeps buying the refs; they'll never get another red card again.
It's fine. Chad
Just
Marshall.
Keep buying.
It's fine. Chad Marshall can get headbutted all he wants because he can choke people out in the box and not get called for it.
Did we get a red card last year? Oh yeah, LGP.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
All right.
Oh, and Brad is winding.
Where's that review?
Oh, damn it!
I don't know how to find it on the podcast app.
You're just the worst.
So hard. Stop it, Kevin.
What? You're the one assuming everything I say has a double meaning. It's not my fault.
Dan, where are you watching the game on Thursday?
Probably watching it in my house.
With Russell Knaus and a mouse?
Yes.
Come on.
Where are you guys watching
Dude,
it?
I told you this shit doesn't sort.
Yeah, probably the same. Probably just watch it at the house.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
Games.
I mean, it doesn't start until 10 o'clock, right? Isn't it 10 o'clock Eastern kick?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm not going out for that shit on Thursday night. What the hell's wrong with y'all? See, this is the problem with the new reviews, is that we pretty much have to screenshot it because stupid asshats over at Apple Podcasts decided to change up their sorting filter so that they don't.
Battery's exhausted again. I guess that battery didn't get charged.
Well,
sorry, guys.
This is much better than the Atlanta kit reveal. Really
terrible. Yeah, I can't even find it on here. So we'll have to pull it up next week because can't find it. This is a great incentive for people to keep leaving reviews. You don't even get a video feed. Hey, at least we had the audio working, right?
Yeah, it's true. I got to get that constant power source for that camera.
Oh, yeah, you do. All right.
I'll put it on Dan for the rest of the.
Yeah, there you go. Just put it on Dan.
Fine, just put it on me. I don't care.
Closing thoughts, comments. Dan, we talked to you Thursday or Friday last week about plans this season. I guess the plan going forward, obviously, we want to have you in whenever we're talking on West Coast time with some of the offside trap and get you in studio once a month and try to plan that. Have you remote a couple times a month and then have an open slot for a guest to rotate in and out. So I'm excited that we have some regularity to that. And I know the people in the trap are excited to hear and see that too. So,
Oh, I'm sure they are.
they ask about you every week. We don't, but they do.
I don't. Make it sound like he does.
I don't, but make it sound like he does. Yeah. So there's that. What else we got? Offside Trap this Sunday. Filibuster will go up. Oh, Solids and Stripes. How the hell I'll wait the whole episode to talk about that? Episode 0 dropped previously. We had Chris and Larry on a couple weeks ago. They'll be, wow, that camera is crooked.
Yeah.
I
don't care. I got webcams for days in this apartment. This is a house.
That's because you're a cam girl, and we all know it, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
So Solids and Stripes, episode 1 goes up as of listening to this. It will already be up. You can find them on YouTube, find them on Instagram. You can find them on Twitter at Solids for Stripes and their iTunes channel. So be sure to go hit a thumbs up, a like, a star, whatever it may be, even if it's a replica. Let them know that you love and appreciate them like we do. And yeah, we like that we've got a new show on the network and excited to see everything they bring. It's a visual medium. They have the YouTube channel for that reason. So as they're talking about designs and aesthetics, you can sort of follow along and go at your own pace. So be sure to check those guys out.
It's choose your own adventure. That the first episode is actually very similar to Bandersnatch.
It's exactly like it, really. It ends up asking like which co-host you want to murder by the end of it, which is really bizarre. But I said Larry.
it's Kevin.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey.
So you can find us if you want to at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. These ends of these shows are getting harder and harder to do because I feel like every week I just want to hang around longer and longer.
The Linger Longer podcast.
This ain't Lake Lanier, bitch.
And Linger Longer is not at Lake Lanier, bitch. It's at Lake Oconee.
Oh, okay, Mr. Privilege. No
yes,
lakes
it's at the Ritz-Carlton.
No
That's where we had our Christmas party.
Knowing lakes and shit. Okay. I went there once, too.
I watched Georgia squander a crazy lead to Alabama in the SEC championship.
Which time? Which part?
Burn. Hey, somewhere Kyle Rollins just left us another bad review. Thanks, Kevin.
Which part? Somehow he blocked us again. He unblocked us just to block us again.
Oh, yes.
I love that Orlando.
Give us a rating or review on iTunes. We'll get that fixed and make sure we screenshot it so we can read out that. It was a 5-star. I remember that. And they had a good thing to say about me. It said something like the podcast grows on you, even Kevin. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think that was actually pretty much the extent of that review.
So yeah, we'll make sure we read that out. If you want to leave us a rating or review on iTunes, you can do that, and we'll read it aloud on the show. Score prediction.
Well, for Thursday.
Yeah,
I liked whoever put in the trap. Sorry to not give you credit. 3-0. Joseph gets a goal. Petey gets a goal. Actually, Joseph gets 2. Petey gets a goal, and then we kind of take people out and let them rest.
3-0. I like it. I'm saying 2-0, but yes, I think it's a shutout as well. Dan.
I feel like Herediano, nobody really knows much about them. And there's 2 camps, the camps that we think we're going to destroy them, and then there's people who give them some credit. I'm going to take the hubristic approach and say, yeah, we beat them 4-0.
Wow. Wow,
Wowie, wow, Dan.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
We got to end this.
No, let's just hang out forever.
This has been a terrible podcast.
It had its ups and downs.
Train's right.
It had its ups and its ups.
You're right.
Because we started from the bottom.
Now we here. We stayed there.
In our feelings.
Started at the bottom, still here.
Nothing wrong with lateral moves.
No, not at all.
Kevin Bradley making fucking moves.
All right. Thank you guys for checking us out. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Actually, no. It'll be Tuesday next week, right? Oh, no. You're out of town Tuesday, right?
I'm out of town Tuesday. It'll be Wednesday next week?
Wednesday next week. Maybe.
We'll at least have the offside
trap up, and maybe we'll just let that breathe a little bit. I feel like we need to do something. Maybe we'll do a little coffee time, hang out.
Yeah.
Friday morning, we'll try to figure something out.
Yeah. Dan can join the hangout while he's changing the baby.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What time's that going to be?
I don't know. Whenever we wake up.
4 a.m. When do you usually change him?
Which one?
I'd be very worried if he's changing his 10-year-old.
You don't have a 10-year-old. Is
I'm
he
an
really
8-year-old.
10?
No, he's 8.
I just want to keep talking to make Dan more and more angry that he can't get off yet. Which is normally isn't a problem. On that note, I got my clothes. Thanks for checking this out, guys. We'll see you next week. However we see you. Love the hell out of you. See you then. Until next time, be home before dark.
Be home before dark.
It should be a walkover.